لوجه الله لا نريد منكم جزاء ولا شكورا إنا نخاف من ربنا يوما عبوسا قمطريرا فوقاهم الله شر ذلك اليوم ولقاهم نضرة وسرورا وجزاهم بما صبروا جنة وحريرا متكئين فيها على الأرائك لا يرون فيها شمسا ولا زمهريرا ودانية عليهم ظلالها وذللت قطوفها تذليلا ويطاف عليهم بآنية من فضة وأكواب كانت قواريرا من فضة قدروها تقديرا ويسقون فيها كأسا كان مزاجها زنجبيلا عينا فيها تسمى سلسبيلا ويطوف عليهم ولدان مخلدون إذا رأيتهم حسبتهم لؤلؤا منثورا ويطوف عليهم ولدان مخلدون إذا رأيتهم حسبتهم لؤلؤا منثورا وإذا رأيت ثم رأيت نعيما وملكا كبيرا عاليهم ثياب سندس خضر واستبرق وحلوا أساور من فضة وسقاهم ربهم شرابا طهورا إن هذا كان لكم جزاء وكان سعيكم مشكورا إنا نحن نزلنا عليك القرآن تنزيلا فاصبر لحكم ربك ولا تطع منهم آثما أو كفورا واذكر اسم ربك بكرة وأصيلا ومن الليل فاسجد له وسبحه ليلا طويلا إن هؤلاء يحبون العاجلة ويذرون وراءهم يوما ثقيلا نحن خلقناهم وشددنا أسرهم وإذا شئنا بدلنا أمثالهم تبديلا إن هذه تذكرة فمن شاء اتخذ إلى ربه سبيلا وما تشاءون إلا أن يشاء الله إن الله كان عليما حكيما يدخل من يشاء في رحمته والظالمين أعد لهم عذابا أليما صدق الله العلي العظيم صلوا على محمد وآل محمد
Jazakallah, Brother Mahdi, for that beautiful recitation. So today we will spend some time learning about careers and career selection. But perhaps most important is understanding the principles which we earn a living upon. For us as Muslims, our career and the way we make money must be acceptable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let's see what the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi teaches us. So it is narrated in Kitab al-Kafi by Shaykh Khulayni rahmatullah alayhi that the Messenger of Allah during his farewell pilgrimage has said, the trustworthy spirit, meaning Angel Gabriel alayhi salam, has inspired my understanding that no soul dies before its sustenance is complete. You must maintain piety before Allah, most majestic, most glorious. Be meticulous in your work to make a living. You must not allow procrastination to make you fall behind in the work for a living. You must not work in disobedience to Allah, most beloved, most high, for He has divided sustenance among His creatures in a lawful way. He has not divided it in unlawful ways. One who maintains piety before Allah, most majestic, most glorious, He provides him sustenance from the lawful kind. One who tears the covering curtain in hastiness and takes it by unlawful ways is reduced from his lawful sustenance, and he's held accountable for it on the Day of Judgment. May Allah guide us to make the best decisions regarding our careers. Next, we would like to introduce you to Sister Zainab Rasool. Zainab has been teaching for 17 years. She taught in the intermediate and senior division, mostly grades 8 to 11, for 14 years. Following that, she was a vice principal for 3 years, and she's currently a guidance counselor at Al-Zahra Islamic School. Zainab has a degree in sociology and a bachelor's in education from York University. So please help me in welcoming Sister Zainab Rasool. وصلوات على محمد وعلى محمد.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Oh, come on, let's try that again. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Thank you so much. First of all, I want to take a moment to thank the organizers of this beautiful masjid. That's my first time here. I just sent a message to my mom when I walked in. I said, MashaAllah, what a beautiful center. May Allah give you lots of barakah, and may Allah bless the individuals that attend this center. And I want to thank the organizers for putting this career fair together. If you look at the audience, it's honestly amazing to see the number of people that have shown up, and I'm happy to see some of our students of Asadiq as well over here. So thank you so much for that. Before I begin, I want you to take a moment and turn to the people to your left or right and introduce yourself. Some of you may know each other. I can see you've been chatting, but you never know. This may be your future employer or employee. So take 30 seconds, introduce yourself, give them a firm handshake, and we will then begin, inshallah. All right, thank you so much. It seems like you guys have become acquainted now. Just out of curiosity, from a show of hands, can you raise your hand if you are either in grade 11 or 12? Grade 11 or 12? Okay, fantastic. Anybody in grade 9 or 10 that's here? Anybody in elementary school, grades 5, 6, 7, or 8? Okay, all right, fantastic. So this is the perfect place to be for those of us that are in the intermediate senior division as students, because this is an important part of our lives. So first of all, it's a pleasure to have you here this evening as we explore the world of career choices, which is always on everybody's mind. And I fully believe that this is an amazing opportunity for all of you to network, to build relationships, and to get to an opportunity to meet the people that are in these particular fields. And so I'm sure all of you know that deciding upon one's career is probably one of the most significant decisions that people have to make. And ideally, you're making a decision that hopefully, inshallah, you're going to stick to for the rest of your life. And we know that careers, it's not just about a job. It's about looking at things that are going to shape your future and looking at your lifestyle and making sure that, as our introductory gentleman said, that you're true to your Islamic identity. And we know that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad, he says that seeking a livelihood is incumbent upon every Muslim man and woman. So we know that it's something we need to go and do. And so today I'm going to talk about when you're contemplating a career path, what are some factors that one should consider in terms of, before you make a decision? So I've got a little bit of a PowerPoint presentation. We'll go through each one a little bit quickly. If you have any questions, please, I'm an educator. I'm not used to a quiet crowd. So if you have any questions or you need clarification, please just go ahead and add your input. So it's important to understand when you're selecting a career in terms of what are your strengths as an individual. Of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created all of us with a skill set that we all have. Some of us are really good at math, some of us are very good at language, some of you are good at critical thinking, analysis, whatever it may be. We all have a set of skills. And so when you're selecting a particular career, you're choosing your career path, it's extremely important to take a look at your strengths. And there's a lot of different programs and personality tests that are out there for you to determine your skill set as well. In addition to that, you want to take a look at your values, right? Because as Muslims, we want to make sure that the careers that we are aligning with are in principle lined up with what we need for our akhirah, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking from us. So we need to make sure that the careers are lined up with our principles. And not only that, you want to be able to do something that has a sense of purpose, that's going to give you the passion, that's going to allow you the ability to get up every morning and go and perform that particular career. The other thing you want to take a look at is your interests. What is it that really interests you? What are you passionate about? What are some interests of subjects or topics that really, get your blood flowing and you thrive on that type of thing? Because a career choice that's linked to your interest is something else that one can potentially consider. The other thing that's important to look at is right now there's a lot of conversation. The buzzword, if I put it in quotations, is mental health. I mean, raise your hand if you hear about mental health, either at your workplaces or in your school. That's what everybody's talking about. And we know from an Islamic perspective that there's a hadith that I believe it's the seventh Imam, and don't quote me on that. But he sets about the way to set up your day in terms of dedicating certain time to your community, dedicating a portion of your day to your job, dedicating a portion of your day to something that actually of interest to you, your hobbies, your interests. So we know that something like a desired lifestyle in terms of career choice is extremely important. We know that if you're going to be at work 16, 18, 14 hours a day, then you're not going to be able to have that balance in life. And these are something that is really critical to understand in terms of course, the timing that this career particularly takes. So take that's something that's of interest. Of course, required education. For those of us that are interested in going into the medical field, we know it's not a 5-year process, right? We know that, especially if you're going to becoming anything that's specifically with a doctor title, you're looking at several years of university. Do you have that time commitment? Are you willing to put in that time commitment? In addition to that, are you willing to put in the time that you need for these specific training and qualifications that are required for that particular career? So that's another thing to consider. And then, of course, work environment. Are you somebody that loves to be surrounded by people? Or are you somebody that just wants to sit at your desk and work by yourself? Or are you somebody that prefers to be in a home environment where you're not having to go or commute? So your work environment in terms of your interests in areas of comfort is another concept to consider when you're selecting a particular career. And then, of course, everybody likes to talk about money. Right? So, of course, we know in life that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one that provides us with the sustenance. But yes, in a world today with the inflation rates going high, some of us will consider what is the compensation for this particular career? Does it line up with something that I'm interested in? Especially if we're looking at the men, we have roles as providers for the rest of the family. Is that going to be sufficient, or will I have to pick up potentially another side gig to be able to manage that? So that's something that's really important. And I think the last thing, although I put it the last, but personally, it's something that's critically important, is your community impact. So when you're selecting a career, how is your career going to benefit the rest of the Muslim Ummah? Is it going to be able to service the needs of the community? Is it going to be able to provide potential areas that are in lack thereof currently? And so that is another area to be able to consider, of course, keeping in line with our Islamic values. So now that we kind of have things to consider, the idea is, how do I select really a career path? Okay, because I have a lot of kids currently as a guidance counselor of Asadik. I have many of my grade 12s that come to me and say, Mr. Rasul, I have no idea what I want to go into. And we're starting to apply. University applications are due in a few months. What am I going to do? Where am I going to go? Do I go to college? Do I go to university? Do I go to apprenticeship? And this is a reality that our children are facing. In fact, statistically, currently right now in Ontario, there is, I'm going to ask you to guess, there's a certain number of people after first year of going to university or college switch. So they switch programs, they switch institutions. Some who are in college go to university, some who are in university go, yeah, nope, not for me, and go to college. Anybody want to guess in terms of the thousands? I'll give you a clue. How many thousands of kids in Ontario after year one, so they've registered in their post institution, switch? Anybody want to take a guess? In Ontario, how many people? I don't have, that's a good question. That would have been smart if I had the actual, let's say out of 100,000. How many would you say? Give me a number. He's 1,000 or thousands? 1,000, he says. Anybody else want to give me a different number? Way more than that. I need a number. She says 15,000. Okay, so we've got 1,000, 15,000. Anybody else? 50, just 50 or 50,000? 50,000, okay. I feel like I'm doing like an auction. Yep. 20,000. Okay, I'm going to give you a clue. It's higher than 50,000. Wow, I know, shocking. Higher than 50,000. Yes, sir. What did you say? Congratulations, you're the winner. Okay, 65 students, 65,000 students in Ontario currently, that's the current statistic, switch programs or switch institutions. In fact, there's a whole governing body called OntarioTransfer.ca. That is all they do day and night. They take people from programs in science and they put them into arts. They take people from university and they switch them into college. They take people that are in college and they switch them into university. So if you are in a situation where you're currently in grade 11 and 12 and you don't know what you want to do, it's okay. I'm here to tell you it's okay. Alhamdulillah, today the universities and colleges are providing options such as undeclared majors, where you can walk into an institution, take something that's more general, and then make a decision that is suitable for you. So it's a stressful world. I just wanted to put everybody at ease in terms of that. But again, how do you determine in terms of what kind of a career do I really, really want? So there's a few things that you want to take a look at. First and foremost, you want to take a look at your self-assessment. So take time to do some self-reflection, right? There's a lot of resources, free resources that are available for you to take a look at your insights in terms of your interests, your strengths, your values. I'll throw a quick one out there for those of you that don't know, Holland Code. Okay, Holland Code is a great resource for those of you that want to do it for free. You can do it for free. It's available on Google. And what it does is it asks a series of questions and then it aligns your answers based on potential career options. Of course, that doesn't mean that for sure that's what you're going to go into, but at least it helps you narrow it down. So self-assessment, self-reflecting takes a good part of helping you identify your career choice. Networking. My goodness, networking. You know how in real estate they say location, location, location? Well, when it comes to career path, we say networking, networking, networking. Speak to the people within the community. Attend events like this. There is a lot of free programs in Ontario. There was a college fair last week that just happened where all the colleges of Ontario came together. And last weekend also there was the Ontario Universities Fair that I hope people attended. There's also another regional fair coming up on November 22nd, and it's free and it's virtual. All you have to do is go to the Ontario Universities Fair website, sign up, and alhamdulillah, all the universities will come to your house. You open up your laptop, you can have a nice cup of tea, and you're good to go. And it's free from 5 to 7 p.m. So for those of you that are in grade 10, 11, 9, even in 12, if you're unsure and you haven't had a chance to go to the university or college fair, this is a really good place to sign up to. And again, it's coming up on November 22nd. Please, again, connect yourself with the professionals within your community. It's amazing to know how many different people hold different careers within your own community. I think today you're going to see that, a testament to that. In addition to that, internships and volunteering. I just had some students who I see over here. We were talking about the importance of volunteering, giving time back to the community. A lot of people may get hired simply through, or get inspired simply through volunteering or providing or attending internships. So this is something that's really, really important. Don't think that volunteering is something that is not going to be as valuable. It is extremely valuable in multiple facets, but of course, in helping you select your career choice. And of course, you want to take a look at co-op as well. Co-op is something that's offered in public high schools. It's an excellent opportunity for you to showcase, get a glimpse into what a potential career path would look like before you put down money in college or university. So for those of you that are in grade 11 or 12, ideally in grade 11, if you haven't reached grade 11, or if you're in grade 11 and you're considering co-op, it's extremely beneficial. I initially, when I was going into education, I thought I wanted to become a primary teacher. I went into co-op, I was placed in a grade 1 classroom, and I was like, Ya Khuda, what do I do with these little kids? They're so cute to look at, but I couldn't teach them. And so I struggled, and I thought, oh my gosh, my entire career has gone down the drain, because what will I do with these little kids? And then when I sat with my guidance counselor at that time, he said to me, no, you're good at teaching. The little ones are cute for you to look at, but you belong in a high school classroom. And it was through co-op that I realized that. And so when I went to university, I didn't waste money in specializing in the primary sector of education. I then specialized in intermediate senior. So co-op is built into your school program. It's free and it's extremely valuable. And lastly, continual learning, right? We're in an evolving world. We know that 21st century learning is up and out there. We know that our worlds are being replaced with artificial intelligence, right? For those of you that have recently been to the airport, everything you do on your own now. I was talking to my students about this recently, from bag tags to printing your board pass to taking your suitcase and putting it on the conveyor belt. We don't need the people that we needed before. And so if you want to go into artificial intelligence or anything like that, there's a lot of continual learning. For those of you that have LinkedIn profiles, LinkedIn actually provides a lot of free certification programs, free of charge. So if you want to continuously build your portfolio, then take the time to invest in continual learning, as the world is, of course, changing. So now that you've kind of thought about that, you've looked at the different pathways, you've thought about, how can I actually get in there? What are the different pathways after secondary school? And in fact, there's 3. And many students and parents don't realize that, right? So we know traditionally there's the university. In Ontario right now, there's 23 universities within Ontario alone that are registered. Obviously, some are located within the GTA, and then of course, the rest of them are further out. In terms of colleges, so again, to look at universities, 2 things are going to dictate whether you're going to go to university, obviously depending on your career path, right? So some career paths require you to go to university. If you're going to be in medicine, if you're going to be in law, if you're going to be in certain parts of education, you need to go to university. However, not all careers require university. Currently today, there is a big push for universities and colleges to partner. So you are seeing a lot of institutions like Seneca at York, like Centennial and TMU that are partnering up so that you can graduate with essentially a degree and a diploma, or have the hands-on learning in addition to the theory application. And so it's something to be able to look at. The options are out there really in manifold. College is another option for those of you that are interested. Like university, there's 24 currently colleges in Ontario that provide a vast variety of programs. And for those of you that still have this conception, I think from my parents' age, college was, when you thought about college, you were like, oh, like, I guess I went to college because I wasn't very successful. And I'm here to tell you, no, college is an excellent, excellent place to go. It's a great opportunity for you to get hands-on experiential learning with the theory and be able to get a job a lot sooner than going into university. And the programs that are being added to the colleges today are exponential. It's unreal in terms of the types of programs that are out there. And there are a lot of people that are graduating from college, not only with a secure job, sad to say, sometimes earning a little bit more money than those who are graduating from university. So I think back then, this concept of college had a negative stigma attached to it, and that day is changing. So please keep your minds open to that as well. And of course, there's apprenticeship as well. And this is focused on trades, skills, training on the job. And this starts a lot of the times in high school. It's called a program called OYAP, Ontario University's application program. And what you're able to do with that is get 20 to 30% of in-class training, and then the rest of that, 70 to 75%, is actually within trades, and you're getting paid for that. So you're looking at carpentry, plumbing, electricians, that type of thing. So for those of you that are interested in that aspect of thing, there's also the pathway plan of apprenticeship, okay? So, and I know that today we're not here, I mean, I don't have the extensive amount of time to go into each detail, but just very, very quickly before I end, for those of you that are interested in going to either university or college, each institution has its own application process. So for those of you that are in grade 12 right now, the college applications are open and ready to go. For those of you that are in university, they're due on January 15th, okay? And so there's an application process. Some of them require supplementary applications, which means that it's not just mark-based for you to get into your program. You may be able to provide, or you may be requested to provide a written response or a personal statement. You may need to provide your experiences on volunteering or extracurricular activities. In college, it's similar in the sense that the application processes are open. Of course, college is a lot cheaper than university. In university, you're looking at approximately, anybody know what it is, tuition per year? You say 1,000? 10,000, yeah, it's 10,000 a year. Currently, right now, university's 10,000 a year. If you're looking at staying on residence, obviously you're looking at significantly more. In terms of college programs, currently, they're between 6,000 and 8,000, depending on the program, depending on the university, okay? Or sorry, depending on the program and depending on the college institution. So there is a significant difference in terms of fee. In addition to that, there is an extensive amount of free money. Who doesn't want free money, right? We know that college and university is really, really expensive. And so there is amazing programs from the government, scholarships, bursaries, and grants that are available. Some scholarships require no supplementary application. It's merit-based, it's mark-based, and some require a supplementary application. And some of these that require a supplementary application are giving away $40,000 to $50,000. Okay, so I always tell my students, because they're like, Mr. Sewell, it takes time. I said, yes, but if it takes you an hour and a half or an hour to fill out one supplementary application, but then your return on your investment is $50,000, I think it's worth the 90 minutes. So please go ahead and take a look at the scholarships that are available. And parents, something you may not realize, your companies, a lot of the companies that you work for actually have scholarships for students. So if you work at companies like Rogers or the banks or any telecommunications, many of them, which you may not even realize, have scholarships available. So please talk to your human resources department and they will provide that information for you. So again, that's it in a nutshell. I know that the rest of the evening is going to be exciting. You have the people here that are in their respected fields, which I think you're going to hear from next. And I just wanted to say once again, thank you to everyone for giving me the chance to come here. I will be here as well this evening. So if you're interested in education or becoming a guidance counselor or even a vice principal for that matter, I would be happy to answer your questions. And is there any questions from the audience at this current moment before I hand it back to our MC? No? All right. Thank you so much. Can we have one loud salawat, please?
Thank you, Sister Zainab, for that insightful presentation. Now we'll move on to the career fair, but before we start, I would like to introduce the volunteers. So I'm gonna call on the volunteers. I would kind of like them to stand up and put their hand up so everyone's aware of who volunteers. So Start off, you already met Sister Zainab Rasool, she's right over there. We have also Sister Fatima Mahdi, if she could stand up, please. So that's Sister Fatima Mahdi. We have also Kawthar Rida, she could stand up as well. She's over there. We have Haneen Al-Alo. Could you stand up? She's over there as well. We have Brother Dhul Faqar Al-Musawi. Could you stand up? Yunus Lari. Could you stand up? Thank you. We have Saja Ad-Dujaili. Sorry. Minaroz Ismail. Also over there. Dr. Safa Az-Zubaydi. Adaya Salihi. Saif Sabah Muhammad. Brother Layth Al-Musawi. Brother Muhammad Dhahab. He's in the back. Dr. Zainab Yusuf. Rawan Al-Amili. Zainab Rahad. Haidar Hadi. Ahmed Sulaimani. Maryam Ismail. And last but not least, Brother Sadir Sadiq. Awesome. All right, so thank you everyone. Inshallah, now we'll be proceeding to the career fair. There will be booths set up, most likely in that area. Brothers and sisters can go into both the brothers and sisters halls, but we do ask that you guys maintain modesty in your words and your actions and hijab. Please ask any questions you'd like. I'm sure the volunteers are more than happy to answer any questions you'd like. There will be refreshments served shortly, so you can help yourself. And so yeah, feel free to grab a drink whenever you please. And last but not least, I would like to end off my oh, that's right. Sorry. Back again. Apologies. Sorry, so Zainab Rasool, you already met her. She has a degree in sociology and she has a bachelor's of education. Fatima Mahdi, she majored in medicine in the University of Calgary. She currently works as a medical doctor. Sister Kawthar Rida, she's a fourth-year pharmacy student at UFT. Sister Haneen, she graduated from UFT and majored in biology and psychology, and she's currently studying life sciences. Brother Dhul Faqar Al-Musawi, he graduated from McMaster. He's currently a licensed physician. He works as an anesthesiologist. Brother Yunus Lari, he graduated from Ryerson with nursing and is currently a registered nurse. Saja Ad-Dujaili is graduated from UFT and is manager of scientific affairs and scientific communications. Brother, sister. Oh, okay. Can Sister Mahdi come up and come on. Please welcome her with salawat.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. It's my honor to be presenting my career, myself to you guys. I have a 2-minute break from my 2 kids and my work. So I am, is my voice clear? Can you all hear me? Okay. So my name is Fatima Mahdi. I am a physician. I work as a family doctor and an emergency physician. I work in Orangeville at Headwaters Hospital in the emergency department, and in Alliston, which is a little town just before you get into Barrie Newmarket and about an hour north of Ear. It's a small emergency department and I love it. I live in that town. My practice is there as well. I grew up in Doha. I grew up in Qatar. I'm Iraqi by birth. I grew up in Doha and I did my high school in Doha. I did IB in high school. So if you guys have anything about IB questions or high school, I still remember that experience. It was probably more difficult than medical school. So I feel you, high school students. And then I went, we all immigrated to Calgary. I went to University of Calgary. I did health sciences, thinking it's going to be like a straightforward pre-medical program. It wasn't. It was tough. Health sciences is under medical sciences, under the Faculty of Medicine, but it's very research-based. I think those of you who are in life sciences will appreciate some differences between that and med-sci or health sciences. So I graduated with a bachelor's degree and then I applied for med school. I did not get in the first time. I applied again and I got in the second time, thankfully, to University of Calgary. It's a 3-year program. So I finished my medical degree there and then I married. So my husband did not want to move to Calgary and I did not want to move to Ottawa. And so we decided to meet in the middle. And so I picked McMaster. That's where I did my residency. I lived in Burlington for my residency. And then I became staff. So I've been 3 years into my practice. I have to say the road to medicine, like the sister said, is very long. It's a lot of years. It's the most fertile years for women. It's tough, but it's doable. I just want you to remember one thing to the sisters and the brothers. Please don't listen to the people who tell you, take off your hijab or you'll never go into medical school. Give up some of your values so you can blend in and be more white, be more Canadian. Please don't do that. I think the key to success is networking. You do need to get out there and network, find mentors who are supportive of you. And 2, have tawakkul ala Rabbil Alameen, pray, and have your parents ideally pray for you really well. And then hard work. It's really hard work. This country values hard work. I have in my medical school, like at University of Calgary, we had someone who was a pilot, who had someone who was in finance go into medicine and change careers. We had people as old as 40 years old. So age is not a limit. Please don't consider the number of years. I know we're very focused on counting years to finish school. If it's something you're passionate about, don't give up on your dreams, okay? So that's really what I wanted to say. I can't tell you about medicine. I love medicine. I couldn't imagine myself anywhere other than in medicine. I think it shows in my work. I had a patient today, threw my mask and gown and all my PPA, tell me today I had a shift in the emergency department. She told me, Dr. Mahdi, I think you really love your job. And I'm like, yes, I studied for 10 years, a decade of my life to be here where I am today. And I'm hoping to improve. I'm always learning. I'm always signing up in conferences. And I have to say, Shias do make a difference. I've met some of the best doctors in my life who are all Shia. I just came from a conference. It's called Imamiyah, which if you've never heard about it and you're interested in medicine, please get involved. It's called IMIA, Imamiyah Medics. These are a group of Shia doctors. They gather once a year. They're powerful. They send aid missions to Iraq and anywhere, Syria, Lebanon, anywhere where there is really Shia population to help. They had an Arba'in Mawkib. They're planning next year to hold a conference in Karbala. So they have mentors. They mentor students. Their CEO is Dr. Haider, who's an orthopedic surgeon at Markham Stouffville Hospital. You guys have a golden chance now to get involved in medicine early on, as young as you're in your high school years, because you have a whole medical school opening up in Brampton. So, and they want a minorities representation. Use that card for your advantage. You're a visible minority. Use that card and try to be involved in these activities. Some of the activities that I did before I got into medicine is volunteering in the hospital, but also volunteering in the community. I was teaching every weekend in the school. I no longer have that opportunity to do that because I'm working so much, but it's the best experience. So get involved in teaching, get involved in Islamic centers, get involved in your community because that passion shows and it's valuable. Yeah, that's pretty much all what I wanted to say. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer them. I went through everything. I had a backup plan. So I did a year of medicine before I got into Calgary in Ireland. So I know the international application process. I know the IMG process somewhat because I have a lot of family friends who are physicians. So yeah, I'll be more than happy to mentor any of you. If you wanted to come shadow me, it's a little bit far for you, I understand. But yeah, any chance I can give, any support, it would be my pleasure and my honor. Okay? Salawat.
So I would like to apologize for that little slip up before. I'm going to ask our volunteers to stand up one more time. So can we have Sister Sajaa Dujaili stand up one more time? So she was a graduate from UFT, and she currently, she's a manager of scientific affairs and scientific communications. Thank you. Next up, we have Sister Mina Rose Ismail. I believe she's right there. She graduated from McMaster, and she's currently studying to get a PhD in computational neuroscience at UFT. Could Sister Sajaa Dujaili come up first? Please help me in welcoming her with salawat.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Sajaa Dujaili. I grew up in this mosque, actually. So my parents, have been coming here since I was in high school. Went to high school here. I did my undergrad in chemical engineering at UFT. I did my PhD in biomedical engineering at UFT. And I was really, I love research. I love science. I love medicine. And that's why I wanted to mix engineering with medicine. And like I said, I love research and science. And so I moved to Michigan afterwards to do a fellowship in biomedical engineering research as well. And it was a lot of fun. And then that was a point where I realized that, academic research is not for me, but I want to have impact on patients. And so I got into more medical devices, it was back to my engineering background. And I moved back here to Canada, and I started working for Baylis Medical about 6 or 7 years ago. For those who are not familiar, Baylis Medical is actually just right down the street from here on Matheson. We manufactured devices for treating cardiac procedures, cardiac anomalies, atrial fibrillation, if anyone's familiar with that, if you have extra heartbeats, exercise, don't smoke, and eat healthy, everyone. And so 2 years ago, we got acquired by an American company called Boston Scientific. So we went from a company of 800 employees that were all diverse. Everybody, we were owned by an Indian man, to now we're part of a 40,000 employee global organization that is all white, and most of them are men. So as you can imagine, there's challenges with that. Being a woman, being a Muslim, Canadian versus American, there's different mentalities, different cultures. But I have to say, the one thing is your faith keeps you grounded in your beliefs. So don't ever think that it's going to stand in your way. What the sister was saying is flaunt your hijab, flaunt your funny, Arabic name, if it's a Murtada or a Fatima, people remember that. There's 500,000 Mikes and Michelles and Emilys, but there's not a lot of Muhammads or Zainabs. I actually just came back yesterday from an American conference, and there were a handful of hijabis out of 11,000 people. So really take that to your advantage to stand out. People will remember you. Networking is very important. And most of all, make sure that what you're doing, you actually enjoy. Because, I put in many, many hours a day. I work on evenings, on weekends, but at the end of the day, I love what I do. I'm doing impactful work that helps physicians and helps patients, and it's very rewarding for me in that perspective. So, to get to where I am now, I manage the Sci Affairs Sci Communications team, which is basically we do anything clinical research related to our devices. We demonstrate that they do what they do, and that they help patients, and we publish and we present them at the conferences. And then we basically make sure that the claims that, our fancy marketing ads say are actually true. So for me, it's very rewarding. The hours pay off. But to get there, there's a lot of education that had to happen, and a lot of networking and building relationships. And my day-to-day right now is doing the science, staying up to date with the science, and then working with physicians on how do we do the next steps in our research. So, I'm around. Please reach out on LinkedIn or today, network, connect. That's my best piece of advice. Make sure that whatever you're doing, that fire inside, it stays alive, and don't ever be afraid to change your mind or take different directions, because, you might take a little bit of a step back, but, it'll help you go further along down the road. So thank you.
So moving on to our next table groups, we have engineering and tech. First up, we have Dr. Safa Al-Zubaydi. He graduated from UFT, and he's currently a senior manager at the Government of Canada. Next up, we have Aday Salehi. He studied at the University of Baghdad, University of Sana'a, and University of Windsor, and he currently works as a civil engineer. Next up, we have Saif Sabah Muhammad, and he graduated from Stanford and George Brown University, and he currently works for an electrical company. Now we have Muhammad Dahab. He graduated from Centennial College and currently works as an automotive technician. And last but not least, we have Brother Layth Al-Musawi. He graduated from McMaster University, and he's currently a test engineering manager at CES Transformers and a part-time instructor at McMaster University. So would you please welcome him all up with salawat on Muhammad and al Muhammad.
أفلح من صلى على محمد وآل محمد. First of all, assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm very humbled to be here and to represent the engineering group. I know many of my colleagues in the engineering group are more senior than me and have more experience than I do. But I'd like to take this opportunity to speak to the younger crowds here and my younger brothers and sisters. And I want to talk about engineering as well and my path in engineering. So I started off at Seneca College, which many of you know in Toronto. I did a 3-year program in technology. Then I decided to do my bachelor's and master's at McMaster University in engineering. So quite a shift there, and I'm happy to talk about it as well once I meet you there at the booths. I put on 2 hats, actually. I am an engineer. I work at CS Transformers. We build transformers, not the movie, but the actual transformers, so electrical transformers, and I'm the test manager there. I also teach on a part-time basis as well at McMaster University. Previous to that, I also used to be a professor at Mohawk College. So quite a career change there for me, moving to academia, back to industry. And I'll be more than happy to share my experience with the younger crowds here today. One thing, I don't want to take a lot of time because I know we have 3-5 minutes, and engineers like to get to the point right away. One thing that I'd like to focus on and encourage to the younger crowds, especially the ones that are considering engineering. I know that you guys are smart people, right? And problem solvers and all that, but it's also very important to have soft skills, right? Soft skills are very, very essential and important here in Canada. It's one thing that you're smart at doing something, but it's another thing as well if you could complement that with soft skills. And what I'm trying to say basically is, are you able to convey your thoughts to not only technical people, but also to people that are of different disciplines than you, right? You could talk about technical concept that could be boring to some crowd, right? But then the ability of talking about that concept or describing that concept or conveying your idea about a concept to a crowd that is not very technical is very important. So being social, having social awareness, and also having the social skills to talk, to convey your thoughts, these are very important if you want to select the engineering path, okay? I don't want to talk more and take the time of the rest of the program here. So hopefully for the benefit of everyone, inshallah, we'll be situated there at the booths, and I'll be your guide for any of the electrical engineering, or even to pursue any of your teaching careers at a university or college later on. Thank you very much. And أفلح من صلى على محمد وعلى محمد.
Next, we have our comsci and engineering kind of mixed kind of booth. Starting off, we have Dr. Zainab, Dr. Zainab Yusur. She has a master's and PhD in computer science and currently works as a professor. Next up, we have Rawan Al-Amili. She is a third-year software engineer at McMaster University and is currently a student. Next, we have Zainab Rahal. She graduated from McMaster University with a degree in electrical engineering, and she is currently a software development team leader. Next up, we have Ahmed Suleimani. He graduated from University of Windsor with a degree in computer science and currently works as a college professor. And last but not least, we have Haidar Hadi. He graduated from University of Waterloo with a bachelor's of mathematics, and he currently works as a Salesforce application consultant. And inshallah, if you can all welcome him with salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. So my name is Haidar Hadi. I'm basically software engineer. My title is Salesforce application consultant, but basically software engineer. So I grew up, I was born in Iraq, but I grew up in Emirat. And since I was young, I was very interested in mathematics. I like to solve math problems. I like to, solve puzzles. I used to go into competition, but that was just me, right? Like everyone has a different things they're interested in. And since I was young, I was interested in math. I know it's probably not too popular these days, being interested in math, but I was interested in that. And let me tell you, it helped me a lot in my career, in my life. It made so many things easier for me. Like I saw people struggle with math, but because I was interested in it, helped me a lot. It helped me in high school, university, and in my career as well. It made a huge impact on my decision. So anyways, so I finished high school in Emirat. Then I came here to Canada. I went to University of Waterloo, studied mathematics. And then I got interested in computer science at that time. And so I started to take computer science courses. And then I also took the co-op program. So the sister was talking about co-op. It's amazing. Like if you have the chance to take co-op program, take it. Like basically I was working one term and then I was studying one term, and this gave me opportunity to see the actual work environment and work with people, and gave me a break from study. So I study for 3 months or 4 months, and then I work for 4 months, and plus the financial gain. So if you have the chance to take co-op, highly recommended. Then anyways, I graduated and initially started working with Maple. You probably know the company Maple. They produce software, MapleSoft. And then I got more and more interested in programming and coding. And so I really switched my career from being mainly math to just software engineering. And I moved from one company to the other. I work with TELUS, I work with the Yellow Pages, with Manulife. And right now I'm working with IBM. And basically, in IBM, we work with different companies will come to us. They ask us for, sometimes they need a solution to a problem. Sometimes they want us to build the software. So in IBM, we make a team of people, maybe 5 people, 50 people. I'm one of the software engineer that the company will take, and we'll solve the problem to the clients. And as the brother said, it requires both things. It requires like the software engineering, like the ability to code, plus the soft skill. Like I'm introvert, so I like to, sometimes take the time and, with my laptop, work for many hours. But also I need to work with other people to present my like the solution and what we're building. So both of them are important. And to succeed, to be successful in this field, you need to do both of them. So anyways, if you have any question, let me know. I'll be available. And thank you very much.
All right, last but certainly not least, we have our law booth. First up, we have Mariam Ismail. She's a fourth year criminology major at UTM. That is basically Ryerson now. And she's, University of Toronto, Mississauga, not TMU, yeah. And she's currently a student. And our last speaker, last but not least, is Brother Sadir Sadiq. He graduated from Queen's University and is currently an articling student, so which is basically, he's like a lawyer in training. So would you all please welcome him up with salawat on Muhammad and on Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Sadir Sadiq, and I am an articling student at Shahan and Gill Lawyers. I was interested in law from a young age. Both of my parents were lawyers in Iraq, and they got me interested in law. And by the time I got into high school, I didn't really like math or science. I was always into things like history, English, politics, that kind of stuff. So I decided to study political science for 4 years at University of Toronto, Mississauga as well for my undergrad. After I completed that degree, I decided to pursue law school for 3 years at Queen's. I graduated in April of this year, so about 7-8 months ago, I believe. My math isn't that great, so you guys are gonna have to, the engineers are gonna have to like check the math on that. But I graduated in April, and right now I'm doing my articling at Shahan and Gill. It'll take me about 10 months to a year to complete it. And then after that, inshallah, I just have to do the bar exam. It's 2 different exams. And once I'm finished with that, I'll be a lawyer in Ontario, inshallah. The positives of the law career is, one, for a lot of people, like most careers on this list are very math or science heavy. And I know a lot of brothers and sisters in high school probably aren't, that interested in math and science. So if you want like an interesting career that doesn't require those skills, law is a great option. The downsides of law, I'd say, are long hours. It takes a long time to get your license, 7 years of school, plus about 1.5 years of articling and bar exam study and writing. And also, you're going to be writing and reading a lot. So just, be ready for that if you decide to pursue the field. But overall, I think that law is one area, like mashallah, we have a lot of people from the Arab community, the Muslim community, who are in engineering, medicine, computer science, but there aren't many in law. When I went to law school in Queens, I don't think there were any Arabs. There were a few Muslims, but no Arabs. I have friends who studied engineering and medicine, and when I would visit their faculties, it was full of Arabs and Muslims, mashallah. So law is a field where Muslims and Arabs should definitely try to enter more, because we need more representation in that field. That's it for now. I'll see you all at the booth, and Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
I know we've been keeping you guys waiting for a while. You're ready to get up and go explore, but we just have a few closing remarks. So we have our booths set up. We have some over there. We have some over there. We ask, so brothers and sisters can feel free to roll on both sides, but we do ask you all to maintain modesty with hijab and the way you act and the way you talk. Please go ahead, ask as many questions as you like. I'm sure volunteers would be very happy and ready to answer any questions you may have. Refreshments will be served throughout the fair, so whenever you feel like it, you can go grab a drink walk around, all that good stuff. I'll just end my portion off with a final narration from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. So it was narrated in Kitab Ayun Akhbar al-Rida alayhi salam that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi said, learn from the crow three qualities. It conceals itself in blackness, meaning maintains its modesty. It seeks its sustenance early in the morning, and it's being cautious. Jazakumullah khair everyone for your patience and attendance and participation. Once again, a special thanks to all our volunteers and participants. And now it's time for the career fair. You're free to roam around, visit, walk around, ask questions. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us for which is best in our careers. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Just a quick announcement for the brothers. We do ask for some help to get the chairs all the way in the back. Brothers only, by the way. Thank you.
Hi, did I tell you about the LSAT? Top 20%. Top 20% of the class. And always fifth. And it something like, let's say there's 100 people in your program, there's going to be more. Let's say there's 100, you have to be in the top 20, maybe top 25 if you have a good story. 20 25. Yeah. Otherwise, there's still a chance, but it's a low chance. But yeah, she's still in grade. She hasn't even started university. So if you go with the mentality that you want to work hard and get good grades, you have 4 years to get good grades. Most schools, they give you your best 2 years. So let's say first year it's still new to you, you don't do that well, it's fine, you still have 3 or 4 years to do well. For me, my best years were year 2 and 3, I did really well. My first year was not good at all. My fourth year was okay. My fourth year, I was getting a little tired of school. But my best 2 years were year 2 and year 3. My best. Yeah, who reached the law? It's best 2 out of 4. 4 years of psychology. Yeah, it's 4 years of psychology. Last 2 years هي صح اي بالضبط هي عادتين هي على اساسها حتى بالضبط اي يعني بالضبط وهنا بالألسات law school admission test. You've heard of that, right? The LSAT? Yeah, so for the LSAT, it's a test you have to do to apply to law school. So when they're thinking of whether to take you or not, they look at your grades from university and also the LSAT. So they take those two into consideration. So if let's say your grades are, let's say you're not in the top 30%, you're in the top 30%, what you can do is do the LSAT, do really well on it, and that will help you get it. Yeah. For me, I was good at school, but my LSAT wasn't that good, but I still got it. My grades, they helped me out. Other people, it's the opposite. They're not that good at school, but they do well on the LSAT, and they still get it. So if she doesn't have the best grades, you don't have the best grades, so focus on the LSAT. I show you
يعني بالنسبه هو اصلا خلص وهنا في طريقه
شو حكيت؟
انا مخلصه جراجويت
من العراق.
اي
اوكي. وصلت شغلي في كندا. ايش عجبك ما حاولتي تعدين اول ما جيتي بس؟
اول ما جيت اول مره ما ادري كلها اشتغلت لا اسيستنت ما له علاقه باللو. المشكله عندي الانجليزي فهذا اللو لازم الانجليزي كلش ما ينفع فهذا شويه اخر فرصه بس خلص اقدر يعني
If you want to be a lawyer, contact the NCA. The National, I forgot what it stands for, but the national contact them and have your transcripts on our ready, and they'll tell you what you have to do. Because it's different for every country. My parents, they did it that much. Hey, we a mortgage broker. We're a bishop consultant. Why they machine? Housework. Good contact.
Yeah, أنا سألت مثلا legal assistant بس يعني هي
Paralegal is, I think, for a private college, it's only 1 year. So I would look into that as well.
بس هذول مثل يعدل مثل معادلة أوديهم مالت شهادة
وكل دولة it's different. For Iraq, I don't know specifically. أنا أعرف واحد Iraq خلص من كل عدد السنة. They had him do 1 year of law school, and then he had to do a bunch of exams. Let's say he's going to do the bar exam soon, which is like what I'm going to do. So he's going to be a lawyer. I think he's doing it before, he's doing it next month actually. I'm going to do it I think 6 months. So inshallah, he's going to be a lawyer soon. Okay. There's hope. Just contact them and have your transcript ready and your school details. Inshallah, they'll help you out.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Do you like John?
Well, you should check out the flash. I showed it to You're fourth year criminology? That's nice. My brother is first year of criminology and political science. His name is Sened. He's a first year, so you probably don't know him. But he's a blonde, blue-eyed, tall around. Looks something like me.
No, I'm gonna look in the hallway if I see a tall blue-eyed girl.
Yeah,
I'll be like, that's his brother.
yeah. So you are gonna go to law school next year, Sean?
Yeah, so I'm in the application process right now. It's due next week, November 1st.
I know, it's always November 1st every year.
Yeah.
So Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how far are you?
So so basically I'm applying to only Ontario 6 law schools.
That's why I
One
did
of them
as
is Queens. And so right now I'm in the process of just like putting together the personal statements. I have like a general writing before I just have to like through the school. And like the problem is that like, it's just I thought I could get them done. So LSAT score, I need my LSAT to find out like something better results.
Okay, how do you feel you did? Because I'm sure you've done a lot of past exams before you did the actual
No,
LSAT.
yeah, one time
So
LSAT.
did you ever do any practice ones like at home?
No, I did practice that.
Okay, so how are you
Practice
scoring those? That's good.
not
That's okay. If you got a 160, how are you grades?
my grades are really good.
Okay, so if you get a 160 and a 3.95, you should get into every school except maybe you.
Yeah, that's what I'm but yeah, I'm still applying for it. For the personal statement, I want to ask you for three. I would love information on like why this school has a personal statement. For example, I know Queens has a law 699. I'm interested in public policy. So I know they have that internship that's around the same. So I kind of wanted to find out what a personal statement. I know they have like a public administration. You know what area do you specialize?
So you know how like with law school, you can take courses that focus, but your degree is still the same law degree, right? So I took a lot of business courses. I took insurance law, real estate law. I took a variety, honestly. To this point, I don't have a set field I specialize in. But most of my classes were corporate, some criminal, and some like real estate, insurance, that kind of stuff. I took a variety because I wasn't sure. And if I'm being honest, I'm still not sure. I'm articling at a real estate law firm, Shomai Miguel. I don't like it too much. Right now, I'm thinking that family and criminal is where I excel the most actually at law school. So I feel like I can actually excel most skills, and I feel there's a lot of good opportunities for that as well. I went into real estate mostly because opportunities because everyone's buying, selling, buying. But I just didn't like it. It's very repetitive, and I wouldn't want to do that forever. It's just what it is. I like, for me, like, I prefer to have a big project that I work on for a while. And you know, you get a retainer, you bill your client hourly, you get paid every month. So family law, criminal law, maybe would be better for that. With real estate, it's all about volume. You know, you take a sale or a purchase case. And like at our firm, we're a small firm. We only 2 lawyers and 3 support staff. We'd be so 5 people total. And sometimes some days we have like 5 closes a day. So you're just rushing through to get every file, all the same stuff. You're signing it, you're reviewing it. And I just don't like that. I would rather be working on a case for 2 weeks for a month at a time rather than like signing out cases in a few hours. Yeah, so that's why I first low basic work. So family law, the child has to take of course it takes more time, a longer process, there's more planning. Yeah.
Brothers and sisters, can I just ask for your attention for a moment? Hopefully the sisters also pay attention. I just want to remind you, it's good, everyone's quiet, everyone's paying attention. Okay, there's refreshments. So please feel free. There's refreshments near the sisters and then the brothers. That's one. Number two is, brothers and sisters, feel free to go to the other hall. So in other words, on the sister side, we have biotechnology, which we don't have here. We also have education, if some of the brothers want to go there. As well on the brother side, we have engineering and engineering technology. Engineering technology, of course, includes the trades. And we also have computer science here. So I want to make a call out for the computer science folks. This is where all the AI and machine learning is. Okay, so if you want to talk chat GPT, education, computer, yeah, it's also teaching here. So computer science table here, also pay them a visit. So you can go to the other halls, please don't hesitate. And inshallah, we can interact, benefit as much as possible. Thank you very much. Please continue.
Forensic science is also good.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So back to your question. Yeah, so you should definitely mention that. You're actually interested in policy work. Because a lot of people will try. They just make